The question we always ask when they do these rebirth things is, how can they reinvent themselves? What can they do differently this time? What can they add? What can they change? We see what they're hinting at here, but what's going to be the big deal? And this is actually kind of something that I certainly didn't expect. But
so in a nutshell, what happened in this?
They introduced the Watchmen into the DC universe. They hinted very strongly in the beginning when they talked about the guy who had the watch. That's directly.
That was the big reveal.
That was the big reveal. But it was the foreshadowing. In the very end, he finds the smiley face button. And to intersect those two storylines is to suggest a lot of things. You have Manhattan as obviously the one who could be seeing this. He could be the only one left because he's omnipotent, right?
He's
the only Watchman, right? And they're just
he might be the
he's
only one.
the lone Watchman remaining. Okay, so what does he want? And is he from another universe or another parallel dimension? We have so many Earths in the storyline. We have so the Watchman is another parallel dimension, parallel Earth, and or does it still exist? And he's just still out on Mars, and that's the midway point. You know. What is it about that planet? All these questions are raised by, and there can be some great stories. There can be some really great stories.
Well, honestly, talking about the issue specifically, now we can talk about what's going to be blended out of this, but like talking about this issue specifically, like I thought structurally, like I thought it was decent because at first I didn't quite know what was going on. Like, who is this person talking? But apparently Wally West is back.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's a lot of like.
Yeah, and he was kind of flying around through the whole issue.
Well, Rebirth also, I thought it was interesting. I was talking to Darren about this. Rebirth actually talks about a lot of things. Because a lot of people had a problem with New 52 because it was supposed to be a 5-year gap. Like nobody believed there could be a Dick Grayson who turned into Robin, who quit being, Robin and turned into Nightwing, and then there was Jason Todd who got killed, and there was Tim Drake, and then now there's Damian in 5 years.
Yeah.
So it was all like kind of, there's a big theme in this book about how they had lost a certain amount of years. And it was funny.
And how did we lose it, and what does that person want?
Funny, and it was an allegory for it was funny, it was almost like, I was telling Darren, and this is sticking with me here, it was almost like an allegory for like the editors saying like, we're sorry that we had the 5-year timeline, like
and what do
we're sorry they lost years, like we even said it in the comments, there's a paragraph that says weakened connections, there's heroes that were never even touched upon, and like if you never even get their time to shine.
That's the sore thumb rule in screenwriting. When you have a hole in your story, if you come out somewhere along the line and say, "Hi, there's a hole in our story. Here it is. On we go." Right, and that was kind of that moment. And I don't know if they're apologizing for New 52.
I'm just saying it felt like obviously it's a part of the storyline, but it's kind of an allegory for like it felt like when I was reading it, it really felt like the voice.
If you interpret it like that, that's great.
Well, it felt like I was hearing the voice of the editors and the writers just kind of apologizing for that big thing. And honestly, like it wasn't a big deal for me. Also, it was one of those things that you sit there and you think about it too much, and you're like, yeah, 5 years seems like really quick. But
I didn't even think about that aspect.
But most of the time, I was like 90% of me was like, whatever, it's Batman.
But the New 52 was kind of I was not tuned in as well as I am now during New 52. So that's probably
this is essentially what they're trying to establish, I think, with Rebirth, is they're trying to be the heroes back. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to be the heroes as heroes again. Yeah. And especially within this comic book, I mean, you're going to bring back, another big revelation. Oh, see, there was the 3 Jokers I was talking about.
Yeah.
Another big revelation in this is, we didn't talk about this one, actually, the biggest revelation in this big one we need to talk about was the New 52 Superman died.
Yeah. That's their big reveal for how we're sorry for the New 52. We killed the guy.
I guess we'll talk about that when we get to Superman Rebirth, because that's really what Superman Rebirth
Everybody wants to kill Superman. Even Batman wants to kill Superman.
Superman Rebirth, but as far as DC Universe Rebirth, I mean, it kind of just touches on a bunch of different things. It touches on Wally West.
Wally West is flying. Well, he was trying to come back, but he couldn't come back to someone who recognized him. He kept dropping into universes or timelines that didn't know who he was.
He didn't want to forget about the Flash paradox, which was Flashpoint, which was when Flash changed everything, and it talked about how they actually mentioned the Thomas Wayne as Batman.
There's a Flashpoint. I picked up the Flashpoint paradox and I watched it. And
you watched the movie?
Yeah,
and it's sick, right?
It really is. It's kind of interesting how they're reintroducing it back on the market and actually promoting it because of this whole story. They're trying to remind people about it because it's a focal point.
Well, it really was a focal point because that was the breaking point of between the old and the new. That was the breaking point between whatever happened. That's why a lot of people were pissed off because New 52 was essentially a restart. Anything that happened before that, meaning the Killing Joke. Meaning it wasn't canon.
The whole
anymore.
problem with non-existence, I think people want to say, "What do you mean that didn't happen?" I saw it happen.
I have 3 boxes of Batman comics. You damn right. I'm like, you talking about it didn't happen?
It just happened. I know it happened.
Yeah. And what else do we got? Oh, the big revelation also was that the little Doomsday's back.
Oh yeah. There's always
Rebirth in the Doomsday.
Gotta have a Doomsday.
Well, he's like I always say, he's Marvel's Thanos.
Yeah.
Which means like Grail's.
You mean Darkseid?
Darkseid. Sorry. What did I say? I meant Darkseid.
Darkseid is Doomsday. No, you gotta have Darkseid because he's like the big, like you say.
He's like the Thanos. You know what I'm saying? Is Grail not like the DC Gamora?
She kind of is.
She's completely the DC Gamora.
That's cool. I like Gamora.
oh, we have a little.
I even like that.
We have a little morning scene here, and then
Yeah,
we have an appearance,
everybody
and then
hanging out.
we had a teaser of what we're going to talk about. We have the
Tony Stark Superman.
we have the pre-New 52 Superman, the Family Man, the Superman I never read.
Yeah.
Darren, did you read much of the Superman when he was married to Lois?
It's freaking
a little bit.
Tony
but
Stark
I
Superman.
got.
It does look like Tony Stark. And I actually, a big thing for me, and we'll talk about this a little bit. A little revelation was, I'm sorry, I keep hitting you for some reason. I don't know. I'm like, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm a tough guy.
You're a tough guy. I am tough. Anyway, I like how they brought back, God damn it, they brought back A, the goatee on Green Arrow, and B, the relation between Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
They were not a thing for a while?
not for, the whole New 52, they weren't a thing. They were married pre-New 52, and then they literally got married like a few issues before, like maybe 4 or 5 months before New 52, and then they just abolished the whole thing. She does.
Good.
And then we have it's all about family. We got Aquaman and Mira marrying.
Yeah, they were broken up in the Dark Side thing, right? And,
I think they were. I think they were.
Paradox, Wonder Woman took Aquaman.
That's right. That's right.
And they moved to destroy the world.
But I guess Barry Allen coming back is a big thing. And again, we talked about a second, and we touched on a second about the big revelation is that Watchmen is going to be part of the DC continuity.
Yeah, I thought the Rebirth, the one Mike you got in your hand, I was reading it, and it didn't grab me. So I was like,
Yeah.
The parts I liked, when they got to each character have the little moment, that was cool. That was cool. But
The little interactions.
All right, Flash is doing through. God, those are the Flash so many close.
Yeah, I know. It's like
I get what they're rebirth.
We like to be balanced.
I get it. But sometimes I just want to go kick down the.
I could have sworn who got resurrected like 2 or 3 years ago in the New 52. Wasn't it different? Was that Barry Allen or?
I think it's Barry Allen.
Oh Jesus.
Who came back to life again?
I want to
We
kick down
need
the doors
we need the Flash guys for this.
Comic
And
book,
go-
man. Who came back to life?
I just want to go to DC's offices, kick down the doors, and pull like Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
Kick down that
I'm
dolls.
too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this
What do you want
shit.
from me?
Spit in their face.
But you know you're gonna read it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna read that.
You're gonna read it.
All right.